Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. Today is Saturday. Happy Saturday to you. I hope that your morning is going well. My morning is going great. I'm up and ready to read God's Word with you. So today's reading is going to be Psalm 139. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I really enjoyed the Psalms very much. Those are probably like I know now. I repent and I'm sorry. I know now the powerfulness in the Psalms, and especially when you're going through things or even when you're rejoicing through things, there is so much truth and so much words that can resonate with you and just a deeper understanding of who God is through them. So I am taking a relook through at the Psalms to get the Psalm to get a better understanding of what God is speaking to me through them. So I'm going to read Psalm 139. I'm reading from the Amplified Version, and it's God's omnipresence and omniscience. And it's really good because we've been studying, the kids and I have been studying through our schooling about God and who He is and how He's the omnipresence, and it's just knowing that He is everywhere. He is everywhere at all times. Like He is at my home right now as I'm praying and asking God to give me words to say. He is at your house right now, wherever you are in the world. He is on the other side of the world, saving somebody that's crying out during the night for help. That is how cool God is. It's not like He takes a nap and just wakes up and it's like, oh, okay, let me do my work for the day. No, He is everywhere at all times. That is a pretty cool thing. Wouldn't you love that skill? Wouldn't you like to be everywhere at all the time, being able to do all the things? Yes, only God can do that. And the omniscience. And that's the knowledge of knowing everything. Like we may think we're really good at being a guru and knowing things and being skilled in your work and things, and you think you know everything, or you might think you know things and you can read people, or that you just know things. No, you don't know things. God is the only one that is omniscient. He knows everything. He knows our thoughts. He doesn't just know our thoughts and what we say and how we appear to people. He knows deep within, at our hearts, what our true intentions are. That is pretty cool. And once you kind of get that, maybe scary, maybe scary for some, knowing that even though you say things, what's really going on inside the heart, the pain people are going through, the hurt people are going through. So God knows all. Okay, let's start. Oh Lord, you have searched me thoroughly and have known me. God knows everything about you. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. My entire life, everything I do. You understand my thoughts from afar. You scrutinize my path and my lying down. He knows everything. He sees why you do what you do. He sees when you say you're tired and you lay down. But is it really because you're tired, or is it for some other reason? He knows all of that. And you are intimately acquainted with all my ways. He knows all your little quirks. He knows your patterns, your habits. He knows all of that. Even before there is a word on my tongue, still unspoken, behold, O Lord, you know it all. Yeah, everything. You have enclosed me behind and before, and you have placed your hand upon me. Such infinite knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is too high above me. I cannot reach it. And I love that He is enclosed behind and before. It's He is wrapped behind you and before you. He's leading you in your ways. He's wrapping behind you to stay behind you, protect you. You woke up today. You're still here. No matter what kind of trauma, no matter what kind of relationship problems, no matter what kind of, medical issue or financial, whatever, it's it may seem overwhelming. It may seem like you're not going to actually make it and that you're just going to be done. But you know what? You're still here. You're still here. And He's right there behind you, pushing you. He might be pushing behind you, but he's in front of you, and He's leading you. He's pulling you at the same time. Pulling you gently, but just getting you through that. Even though there's stuff around you all going around, He's still getting you on that nice little path. That's a good thing. Still here. Remember that. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, the netherworld, the place of the dead, behold, you are there. There's no place that you can go. It doesn't matter where you can hide. You think you can just go disappear in your room and close your eyes and He's not there. No, He's actually there. He's everywhere. You can't go hide in your room, and you can't go hide at a friend's house and do something, that's not appropriate or good. No, God knows you and where you're at everywhere. Don't hide from things. Stay out from them. If I take the wings of the dawn, if I dwell in the remotest parts of the sea, even there your hand will lead me, and your right hand will take hold of me. Always, no matter where. It doesn't matter how far and how deep into sin you may think you can get without God. Like he's there. Like you could be in a really bad addiction, a really bad thing, and just think you're at your last wit's end. And you know what? If you reach out your hand, he's there. Like he's there. That's pretty cool. He sees you. He hurts for you. He sees you going through things and through pain and through awfulness. But just reach out your hand and he's like, I got you. I'm going to take care of you. If I say, surely the darkness will cover me. Like surely it's just going to come to an end. I'm just going to close my eyes and go to sleep. And the night will be the only light around me. Even in the darkness is not too dark to you and conceals nothing from you. Like the dark is not too dark for God. He sees everything. But the night shines as bright as the day. Darkness and light are alike to you. Doesn't matter. He's still there in the darkness. For you formed my innermost parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I will give thanks and praise to you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being formed in a secret and intricately and skillfully formed, just as if embroidered with many colors in the depths of the sea. Your eyes have seen my unformed substance. Think about that. Like I think we were just watching babies and how they grow in the womb, you know, those fun school videos with the kids. And I think, I was talking to the kids and I said, look at that. I said, like every baby, most every baby, I understand there's birth defects and things like that, but most every baby that is born in the womb at like that number of weeks, they're all growing the same thing. Like God is doing the same thing at the same time, growing inside those babies. And their mother is growing inside those mamas, the babies. And like he knits that together. Like you might have come from a bad situation. You might have not come from parents, or even brought into this world in a wanted way or from the earthly parents. But God knew what he was doing. He knew that like you needed to be born and come on this earth. And he's like, how am I going to get her here? How am I going to get him here? I'm going to get him here through these two people. It might not be ideal situations. It might not be ones that are even, even considered parents' situation. But God got you here. God got you here, and he has a purpose and a plan for you because he knit you, just like he knit your parents. And maybe they screwed up, and maybe they, have lived a life that's terrible and horrible, and now they're reaping their consequences. But he made them too, and he has a plan for them if they would reach out to him and change. God's right there. Same thing with you. No matter how you've got here, no matter where you've come from, God made you. God made you the way you are. God made you, your little quirks that you do, the way you are, your size, your shape, all those things, and the personality and the likes and the desires of your heart, like it's all inside there. God has made you a certain way for a certain purpose on this earth. And in your book were all written the days that were appointed for me, when as yet there was not one of them even taking shape. Like he knew like what you're going through right now. Like right now when I think of my life and I think, wow, God, you knew right now what was going to be happening. You knew what I'd be going through, and you have equipped me, and you have given me, I look back on a lot of things in my life, and I can see now after going through things, wow, look at how God helped with this. Look at how God helped with that. It's good to journal. It's good to write things down. It's good to write praise reports down. It's good to write those things because when God gives you something and you're like, what is that for? Write it down, because it's good to go back and go, oh, he was preparing me. Oh, he was helping me. He was setting me up so I wouldn't fall apart. He is good like that. How precious also are your thoughts to me, O God. How vast is the sum of them. If I could count them, they would outnumber the sand. When I awake, I am still with you. Yep, we're still here. Every morning, we're awake. We open those eyes. Guess what? We're still here. God is still there. That means God has a plan for you today to complete on this earth. Oh, that you wouldn't kill the wicked, O God. Go away from me, therefore, men of bloodshed, for they speak against you wickedly. Your enemies take your name in vain. Do I not hate those who hate you, O Lord? And do I not loathe those who rise up against you? I hate them with perfect and utmost hatred. They have become my enemies. Do you ever get frustrated with people in life and you're like, why? Why don't you just leave me alone? Why don't you stop doing what you're doing? Why don't you just go busy yourself with your own life? You get a lot of hate and a lot of negative words spoken against you. You get a lot of people just saying things just to try to hurt you. It's like, why, God? Why, just get rid of them. Take them out, Lord. You could do anything, right? He could strike them down and get them out of there. He could take those away, protect you, and never let you go through those situations. He could keep you from, people ever saying bad things about you or treating you harshly or wrongly. But you know what? If you're kept in that nice little bubble all the time and nothing bad ever happens, you don't know resilience. You don't know how to ever stand up for things. You don't ever learn like what your grounding is, like what you stand for. If you don't understand, like you can say, yes, I believe in God, and yes, I have faith of a mustard seed. Yes, I have so much faith in God. Well, do you have it in times of trial? Do you have it when people are throwing accusations against you? Do you have it when people are forcing you to say things and it's not time for you to speak? Do you have it through all the things, the sicknesses, the things where you're like, yep, God's going to heal me, God's going to heal me, but there's evidence that my body is still broken? Can you still have that faith through those times? That's the key. That's the key, is to continue on in your faith, even through those hard times, because you know what? That is more of a light to others than the picture perfect life, because none of us have a picture perfect life. My goodness, becoming a Christian does not make your life picture perfect. Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Having God in your life doesn't make it perfect. It makes it perfect if you trust Him, because perfect in a sense that it's going to bring you peace. It's going to bring you through it. Doesn't make it perfect like everything's fine and rosy and nothing goes wrong ever and best relationships and best this and best that and all these good things happening. No, because you know what? Sin for one, choices for another, consequences for those choices a third. That all happens. And people you can't control, situations you can't control. You are only responsible for you. Like, I am only responsible for me and my actions and what I do and how I respond to things. And guess what? Things are going to come against. Things are going to be, people have a choice to live their life a certain way. People have a choice to act out, and people have a choice to live out life. And those consequences, it happens. It doesn't mean perfection. But the key is like how you walk through it. I think that's the most important. When I share things on YouTube, I share my life. I don't share everything. I do share some of my family. I share things that we do. Yeah, that's part of it because it is part of what I do. But most is me. I want you to see, how do I as a woman, 46 years old, yes, I'm 46 years old, walk through my days every single day. When I'm going through trials, when I'm going through situations, when I'm going through bad things, when I'm going through good things, when I'm going through things when life is not perfect, when I'm going through things that I don't even want to go through. How do I walk through them? Can I walk through them with joy? Can I walk through them with peace? Do I struggle? Absolutely. Can I go through things and go, it's a hard day. It's a hard day today, but you know what? God is good. That is walking out a life of Christ. It's not having picture perfect and everything's amazing, all that wonderful. I experience hurt. I experience pain. I experience frustration. I experience bad things in my life that I don't even want to do. But the key is, how do you walk through those things? How is it? Like, where is the reflection of Jesus? When you go through the Bible and you go through people in the Bible, no one had perfect lives. Like, no one did. If you look at Paul's life before was a horrible, horrible person. Horrible person. Like, if you think there's no hope for someone in your life that's maybe gone wayward and maybe living a sinful life, and maybe a spouse, maybe a son or daughter, family member that you've been praying for, think if God could change a man like Saul, like horrible, murdered, killed Christians for their faith in Jesus, like horribleness, and then completely turn his life around, and then he's out preaching the gospel, he's out living his life for Jesus. Wow, that's a changed man. That's just one person. Go find many. David, oh my gosh, David had an affair on his wife, and then had that woman's husband killed purposely. Like, dimension, oh my goodness, the horribleness. Like who would even think to live that out? Like, we don't even live that kind of awfulness out in our life. Maybe you do. I'm sorry if you do. But if God will continually say, David is a man after my own heart, how can God say that about a person that does choices like that? It's because David's heart is repentive. And it's not that David gets away with everything. You know, he had to reap what he sowed for a long time in his whole life. But God got him through it. He was able to stand through those things. It's so important to read about people in the Bible. So important to read about go read the book of Ruth and what they went through and the situations, and then how, you know, they went and lived with a family that it was not even her family, and just, you know, and then God brought her the person that she needed. You know, God saved her. God, helped her family. So much true. That's 3 people right there. There's so many more. If God can do that for someone that's so terrible, like God can reach that person in your life. And I trust that. And I believe that wholeheartedly. All right, going off on a tangent here, but yes, how do they walk through it? The reason why those people are in the Bible is because they walked through it. You do see horrible ones where they just, like Judas, betrayed him and then he ended his life with suicide. That's horrible, horrendous, and awful. But there's so many in there of people that failed, and then how do they walk through that? How do they walk through it the rest of their life? That is the key. Walking through it, living it out daily basis when the bad things are happening. And it says, verse 23, search me thoroughly, O God, and know my heart. Like every day, God, check my heart. Like check my heart, make sure there's no pride. Where's the fear? And then that's my prayer every morning. I go outside and I talk to God and let Maxine out, make sure there's no bears and stuff out there. And then I have my conversation with God and it's like, okay, God, search me. Like, is there any pride in my heart? Is there any, fear that's driving me towards certain things? Is there any bitterness that has like crept up in my heart? And if there is, like, here, this is yours. Here's, my prideful ways. Let me put that down. Help me be humble with that, Lord. Okay, let me change my thought pattern on those things. If there's any fear, all right, Lord, if it's something I can't control, here, it's yours. That's not for me to take care of. It's something I should control, then show me what I need to do every single day. That's the key. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. And God will test you. God will test you with things and make you question things. And you're like, wait a minute. Or he'll go through trials and you're like, is that? Okay. How do you respond? What you do? And know my anxious thoughts. Because we have anxious thoughts. We have those. We have worries. We have things. And see if there's any wicked or hurtful way in me. Check your heart constantly. Constantly ask God before you do things, is this me, Lord? Or is this something I need to change? You don't want to do anything out of selfish ambition. You want to do things with a pure heart. When your emotions are raging inside, you're hurt, you're frustrated, people say unkind things to you on social media, and the first thing you want to do is respond back with a horrible word. Okay, that's not God. Check your heart. All right, God, what is it? I always step back and I'm like, all right, God, do I need to respond to this? Is this something I need to respond to? And he may say no. He may say just delete. And you know what? Happily delete. And is it ignoring? It's no. It's because God knows that person's intention only is to hurt, to steal, kill, and destroy something from you. So no need to respond. Maybe someone says something. I've had so many people say things and they say it and it sounds really bad. And if I respond, and God said, just respond. And I responded in love. And then they wrote back, oh, I was, and it was a misunderstanding. So God will lead you to, in all ways, in all things, if you seek him. That's the key. You don't have to respond to everybody. When you read something bad on social media, okay, just turn a blind eye and just keep on going. It doesn't mean you're ignorant. It doesn't mean you're, just walking through with your head in the clouds. No, you're walking by God's leading because he's in front of you and leading you through that. And he knows that's frivolous. He knows you don't need to respond to those things. Jesus didn't respond to everybody. Think of all the times he went through the towns. There was so much he could do. He could heal every person he came in contact with. He could talk to certain people. He could do, but you know what? He didn't. He just kept on going and was led by God to the right people and the right situations. The ones that his heavenly Father knew really wanted to change, really wanted help. Same thing in your own life. Doesn't mean that you're just ignoring people. It doesn't mean that you're not, you're just trying to hide. No, it's that you're being led. And being led being God-led is so much better than being your head-led. Your head-led wants to fight back. Your head-led wants to make things right. You don't want anybody angry with you. Your head-led wants to fix everything. No, it doesn't work that way because only God knows what he can fix. Only God knows exactly the intentions of a person's heart and if they're really meaning things in a positive way. So be God-led. And then it says, and lead me in the everlasting way. That's what you want in your life. You want to be God-led in everything you do. He is the only one that's going to put you where you need to be with the right people, the naysayers, the negatives, the bad situations, the toxic relationships, the destructive relationships. God is going to get you through those because he loves you that much. Go back and read Psalm 139 this week and let God speak to you through his word. All right, have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you guys again Monday for another video. See you Monday. Bye.